Welcome to the AAC in the Lynn Miller Room here for this edition of the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. Warren Lipka, the soccer coach of Morehead State, has joined us for our first segment today. And, Coach, you played 2 over the weekend, of course, on the road, tough to play at places like UT Martin and Southeast Missouri State. Tell us a little recap of how those games went.
Well, I want to come back and say that we got a couple of things done. I think it was 2 different games that we played on Friday night. We struggled a bit at Martin. They played a very aggressive style. I don't think our young kids adjusted well in the first half. I think in the second half they did much better. Created some chances. Again, having a hard time finding the back of the net. And then on Sunday, I thought it was one. I thought we put together a really well organized, disciplined game. Again, outshooting our opponent and not getting a result. It's very frustrating. It's not only. The kids are frustrated. We're frustrated not to get a result because of the work we're putting into it, and the girls are working extremely hard. And we made a couple adjustments this week. That you'll see on Friday, a different look up front because we're just not getting that production there, and hopefully this is the last ticket that we can punch to try to get us to the conference tournament.
Now, we mentioned UT Martin. UT Martin is also leading the Ohio Valley Conference with a 5-1-1 mark. So, as you said, they have to be a pretty good team. They're leading the league. So, we've talked about this several times this year. Your younger kids and trying to learn the game. Each time, I guess, you go on the road, it's a different challenge, though, with these younger kids because, different crowds, different areas. You're going on the road. You're not at home. They don't have the same routine. But as a coaching staff, I guess you try to take as much of that out of it as you can.
Yeah, we don't want that. That's not affecting us and what we need to do. What's happening is we're just not executing in the final third, and we just. As coaches, we just have broke it down, and we've been getting better results in training. Like I said, we're going to be making a bit of change on Friday. But I talked to our captain, Alyssa Naki, actually this morning after training or during training, and that they're down, but they're not discouraged. That there's still light at the end of this tunnel that we can create. We have a 4-game season left, and we got to take care of that 4-game season, and and just keep on going. You just can't. We're not going to roll over and die. We're not going to. That's not me. That's not my players. It's not what we're about. What we have to do is just keep on fighting until we get that break. And the only way you create good luck and breaks is by keep on fighting through adversity.
You mentioned you have 4 games of the regular season left. The fact that 3 of them are home has to be a key for heading into that last month of the season.
It makes it a bit, I'll never say easier, but it helps when you can prepare better at home, other than traveling and things like that. So, I'm glad we're where we're at on our development. I'm not happy, and the girls, I'm telling you, the girls are not happy with our record, but we still have some fight left in us, and that's what we need to do.
As we head down this home stretch, your older players, your seniors, do have, their last regular season match at Janes Stadium. That's going to be kind of special for them anytime you can have a senior day.
Yeah, I think, Sam Teffer and Alyssa Naki have done the best that they can to try to lead this young group, like I said, I can't say it enough that it's just such a big turnover in our program from the last couple of years of losing the kind of leadership that we had and that we developed here. It's our job now to develop these new younger players and younger leaders, and and they took that task on this year, and I thought they've done an outstanding job. And what we have to do is build on what they're establishing there within our program.
Warren Lipka is our guest, talking a little Eagles soccer here on the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. And Coach, you mentioned the 3 games we have at home in a row. Friday night, East Illinois comes to town. Tell us a little bit about EIU.
EIU's, I think they're in the same sort of a situation as us. They've got a young group, and they're up and down in their game, and They're a team that can explode at any time, so we have to be prepared to do that. I think SIUE is coming on into this conference and really kind of establish themselves as a good program, and they'll be ready to come and play, and they want to make it. They're eligible this year, so they're going to want to make it to the tournament. The one change that we're talking about is moving our game time from 7 o'clock to either 5 or 6, because we want our volleyball team to have a lot of people there so they can beat the SEMO group, so that way they can take home the championship and have it at home themselves. And I also think it gives us a little bit extra time for rest in between that Sunday game. And I think that's what we're going to end up doing the following year is bumping that time up a bit, so it gives us a little bit more rest between the Friday-Sunday matches. But, that's a game time that's being discussed right now. It'll probably be announced here pretty soon.
Of course, you can go to msueagles.com and hit the soccer link, or it'll probably be on the front page as well to announce the game time for that, so you can keep up with that. And, of course, you can keep up with all the soccer news on msueagles.com. Coach, what in the last 4 games, what would you like to see out of this club?
Score goals. Score goals.
Make up all the differences.
I don't care if it's 6-5, 7-4, 9-8. It doesn't matter. We just need to score goals. We need to gain some confidence, and we need to find a bit of a killer instinct that once we go ahead to not rest on our laurels, not rest on what we've done prior to that moment, but to build on it and continue to attack in it. And like I said, it's hard when you have a group that always have that in the back of their head when something goes wrong, that here we go again because of their youth, where in the past we developed that toughness out of our kids, and it took a little bit. But I think it's time for now that they got to understand that, we've had our games, we've had our time to play, and we've had our development time, that we need to start executing it and start putting ourselves in position to win games. And we talked about learning how to win, these last few days, and that's what we're going to have to do.
I know it's, as you said, it's been hard on the girls to not get the outcome they want. It's been hard on the staff not getting the outcome. Yeah. What have you learned as yourself and also your staff this year?
Yeah, I think I don't think any of us has been in a position like this in our careers, and you kind of soul search and you try to pick up every rock you possibly can and look under it to find out what can make a big impact on your program. And and it's not the effort, it's not the work rate, it's not the passion to play, it's executing in the final part of the game and having confidence to do that, and then confidence to keep a lead, and that's all going through with experience. And that's what we want to do, and that's what we've done as a coaching staff. And I think that's what players have done, is find out and look at themselves in the mirror and find out what they need to do to make a difference in the game. And once we get to that point and we can come together, you'll see things that are happening, and you can see it in the training. What we got to do is take it from that training field and put it in the game arena.
As a coach, you recruit these young ladies, and you hope things go well. Character-wise, you always try to do your best, trying to get the best girls here, players here, characters here. You have to feel happy with the fact that they have stuck with you, and the fact that, as you said, they've given all, even though things haven't always come out the way you wanted to.
Yeah, well, it's not something you go and there's no blame on anybody. I don't blame them. They don't blame me. We just have not been able to have that final little touch. And as a coach, you can't hammer away. You gotta have a little bit of a passion for it, and if they weren't working hard and they weren't trying to do what we're trying to execute, then you have a different story. But these kids aren't that. They have good character. They need to learn how to deal with adversity. We need to learn how to deal with adversity. And as coaches, we're always growing. If you stop growing, then I think you're probably going to retire, because it's silly, because I'm learning something new every day. And I think that's what we got to understand as a team, is that we're in this together. We'll fight to it. We fight. We're in it together when we lose. We're in it together when we're winning championships. And this is a time that we just have to dig a little bit deeper.
Of course, the Eagles soccer team back at home on Friday night against Eastern Illinois. Then on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock against SIU Edwardsville. And Friday, October 26th, also mark that on your calendar, Austin Peay will come to Morehead State University. They'll close the regular season October 28th at Murray State. Once again, the time change for Friday will be announced hopefully in the next few days. You can tune or check or click or whatever you want to do to MSUEagles.com and get the information, because Friday, October 19th, game against Eastern Illinois, more than likely there'll be a time change.
Okay.
Coach, appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
Warren Lipka, head coach of the Morehead State soccer team, will come back with more. This is the Eagle Sports Coaches Show.